In a recent survey covered by Yahoo Finance, only 37% of Canadians now view the United States as a force for good in the world. That's a stunning number, especially for two countries that share the world's longest undefended border, deeply integrated economies, and decades of strategic alignment. But this isn't just about public opinion. It reflects broader shifts in economic trust, global influence, and alliance fatigue, especially in a post-COVID, post-Ukraine, and increasingly multipolar world. Let's break it down. According to the survey by the Angus Reid Institute, Canadians are growing increasingly skeptical of U.S. global leadership. In fact, more Canadians now say the U.S. has a negative impact on global affairs than a positive one. For context, that puts American influence on par with views of China or even Russia among certain segments of the Canadian public. So what's driving this shift? First, economic trust is eroding. From border shutdowns during COVID to protectionist policies like Buy American, many Canadians feel the U.S. is no longer a reliable trade partner. Even key sectors like lumber, energy, and automotive have faced ongoing disputes or tariffs, hurting Canadian jobs and exports. Second, military alignment is under strain. While Canada is still part of NATO, public support for increased defense spending is lukewarm. As the U.S. pushes for more Canadian contributions to global conflicts, whether in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, or Asia, many Canadians question whether these align with their values or economic interests. Third, we're seeing a rise in interest in non-U.S. blocs, especially among younger Canadians. Whether it's BRICS, EU cooperation, or Canada's Indo-Pacific strategy, there's growing appetite for diversifying alliances, trade routes, and even financial systems. Let's not forget the cultural side either. With the U.S. facing rising polarization, gun violence, and economic inequality, many Canadians view American society as a cautionary tale, not a model to emulate. That soft power erosion spills over into trade, diplomacy, and security trust. But here's where it gets economically important. Canada depends on the U.S. for over 75% of its exports. Any weakening of that relationship through mistrust, political divergence, or decoupling has serious consequences. Investors, supply chains, and even central bank policies are all deeply tied to U.S. markets. So while Canadians may be cooling on American leadership, the economic ties remain. That creates a paradox. A country that wants independence but is still economically dependent. What happens next? If this trend continues, we could see greater push for trade diversification, especially with Asia and Latin America. More debates over foreign policy sovereignty, especially around NATO and U.S.-led missions. Increased interest in alternative global financial systems, including digital currencies, non-dollar settlements, or BRICS-aligned development banks. Ultimately, this isn't just about opinions. It's about how global economic and political power is shifting, and how countries like Canada must navigate their identity between old allies and new realities.